on 8 out of 10 Cats. Morning Glory, Johnny Vaughan. First Lady of Sport, Gabby Logan. And their team captain, John Locke. And facing them tonight, Britain's Golden Girl, Denise Lewis. The Right Reverend, John Bishop. And their team captain, Jason Manford. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to the 8 out of 10 Cats Sports Special, a show about survey statistics and this week, sport. Did you know, for example, there are 336 dimples on a regulation golf ball, which is why they're so adorable. The biggest participation sport in the world is fishing. Of course, a lot of the participants are fish, and they're not happy about it. Chinese gymnast Lu Li is the smallest person ever to compete in the Olympic Games. Lu Li was just 4 foot 3 inches tall. Wowee, was the second smallest. And 63% of people think Serena Williams is better looking than Venus. I'm going to be diplomatic and say I think they're both lovely-looking fellas. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. We've teamed up with a leading polling organisation and they've given the British public a list of 50 memorable sporting moments. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 5 most memorable sporting moments. Jason, your team first.
We won the World Cup. That's got to be it.
Yeah, that's right.
The one thing that we remember was 1966 and the golden-haired boy Bobby Moore lifting that cup.
I like the way that it's lifted alongside 2 world wars. Like it's sort of equal importance.
But it's lucky we won it. Can you imagine that song? Like, 2 world wars and a couple of semi-finals.
England 1966. So I'm not old enough to remember it. Gabby, what was it like? Messing about.
The ball was heavier then, though, wasn't it? It's light now, the ball. It moves around. You need skill to control it. The ball in '66 was like basically kicking a suitcase around. It was. It's really heavy. You probably need a wheelbarrow to get it over the line. So the very fact they got it up the Germans' end was quite an achievement.
Do you rate our chances for 2010 in South Africa?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's a bit of a cliché, but I think this is the best chance we've had. But, of course, that means we won't progress from the group now that I've just said that. But we've got an easy group as well, so...
Wayne Rooney is our biggest hope. He's the best English player and he's also the only man who can grow a beard that's red when his hair isn't. I think that is just, in its own right, that should give him a medal.
He looks like he could grow it in about 4 minutes.
Oh, definitely.
He just goes, I fancy a beard.
Have we been practising penalties, though? That's the big... You know what I mean? That is hard,
I can't
isn't
believe
it?
when they get to the final... I don't know anything about football, but when they get...
out.
You just watch the final and they go, I don't think they spent enough time practising penalties. Surely that happens in a footballer's life. When they're off the PlayStation for half an hour, they go, we should try and kick it a goal.
Yeah, but you can't replicate. It's the nerves, isn't it? You know, Denise has performed in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
You can replicate it.
You can't replicate
You
the
can
nerves.
replicate. That's nonsense. And they say that. So you can't represent that intense pressure. What you do is you say to an England player, right, you take a penalty. If you miss, we're going to shoot you.
We know the World Cup win 66 is going to be up there somewhere. Let's have a look and see where. Controversially, England winning the World Cup in 1966 only came second in our poll of the most memorable sporting moments. The Queen, of course, was in the crowd to support her countrymen. Sadly, the Germans lost. Sean, Gabby and Johnny, your turn to guess. Most memorable sporting moment.
I think, for me, something that was... I always loved the London Marathon anyway. I think it's the most beautiful, you know, mass participation event, people running for all these different reasons. It's the most wonderful movie, and you got that theme tune. And they had it in slow-mo, just seeing Paula Radcliffe reach down, pull aside a gusset and have a shit on the moon. For my money, iconic. 950 toilets on that place. She's 5 minutes ahead. Yeah. She can shit on the run like that. She was hanging on since mile 16, which is a great effort.
Maybe it was tactical. Maybe she's thinking, I'm running ahead here, but what if someone catches me up? I'll leave it behind me so they slip on it like Mario Kart. When you play Mario Kart and you leave a banana behind you.
It's not slipping, though. Imagine you've run a marathon, you've run 21 miles, you're chasing someone in front, and you run up and you see a log, you think, she's even stopped to have a shit. That's how far ahead she is.
What I liked afterwards was the debate of whether it was urine or the hard stuff.
Paula Radcliffe, she blamed it on some whole wheat pasta and salmon she had the night before. I think that settles the argument. No one pisses salmon. Denise, 200 metres, have you ever stopped and... No.
I think I had more chance actually doing it in the long jump if I were to go...
The long jump, of course, because it's a sandpit. You're fine. You can blame it on the cat.
They just... Absolutely. No one would be none the wiser.
But can I just ask you, Denise, because, like, we can all take the piss, but we've not been professional athletes. Did all the professional fraternity of athletes go, it's just one of those things? Or did everyone go, look, it's Pissy Pants Paula again? Because I can't believe this is the only time it's ever happened.
No,
Go on. Yeah, no, do definitely
Go on,
say.
name them.
Sonia O'Sullivan.
Sonia O'Sullivan.
She had diarrhea.
She had diarrhea. She had the runs while she was running.
Yes.
Perfect.
And there's been a weightlifter in the middle of a snatch.
I could imagine, though, because some of their faces look as if it's happening anyway.
Do you remember the commentary, though? Because they kind of didn't want to say what was happening, did they? So...
Well, they're not going to, are they, Gabby? Paula Radcliffe stops for a shit. Doing on the march. Paula Radcliffe now getting her to stride, reads back the gusset, and out comes the turn. The weird thing was, about a year later, she had a baby. I thought, she should do that on the go. The New York Marathon, Paula coming out, 9 months pregnant, out she goes. Whack goes the gusset, into labour, baby on the road, on she goes.
I can tell you it's not on our list, but during the 2005 London Marathon, Paula Radcliffe stopped by the side of the road to relieve herself. After 22 miles, she hit the wall and the gutter and splashed the inside of her leg. It's difficult for girls. OK, back over to Jason's team.
You've got to think of Usain Bolt. It's got to be up
Usain
there.
Bolt,
He's
of course.
got to be in there.
OK, go on. What's Usain? What's your views on Usain?
He ran 100 metres in 9.69 seconds. I can't even get off the couch in 9.69 seconds.
I only saw half of it because I was making love to the wife.
He sort of slowed down near the end, like he was
down at the
taking
end.
the piss.
Someone said he slowed down because he knew he was going to win it and break the Olympic record, but he slowed down and did all that business because he knew then the next year he'd be offered quite a lot of money to go to other Grand Prix events and then break the record there.
No, of course not. He just wants to be the best, a legend. He's already a phenomenon.
But he broke his own record. Where's the fun in that? You know what I mean? Take that, me. I think what you should do is go, right, I'm clearly the fastest human. Who's next? Greyhounds. I'm going to beat you. Who's next? Horses. Come on, bring it on.
Let's have a look and see whether Usain Bolt is one of the most memorable sporting moments. Yes, Usain Bolt smashing the 100 metres world record at the Beijing Olympics is the 5th most memorable sporting moment. 9.69 seconds. It begs the question, how fast can a human being run 100 metres? Let's put Colleen Nolan at one end of a track and an Iceland party platter at the other and find out once and for all. Sean, Johnny and Gabby, what else have the nation been talking about?
We're going to go, I think, a slightly different route, shall we, Sean?
Yes, go on, Gabby.
Yeah,
You're
well, it's
sport,
coming up to the Winter Olympics in Vancouver, and Torvill and Dean, possibly the greatest Winter Olympic moment for Great Britain
and
ever.
also strictly ice dance, whatever that crap is. That's got people interested in ice skating again. They've been showing a...
They think about it.
Yes.
It's in their head.
They're very lucky. Most ice skaters, you can be the best in the world at ice skating. There's no money in it. You can be the world champion, but in 6 months' time, you'll be going backwards at the NEC in a goofy costume like that guy. There's no money in it at all. And I don't understand why there's no sponsorship. You've noticed they never have sponsorship on their costumes. And I think it'd be good if they had it on their gusset. You know when they lift them up? And you lift it up, on the gusset it just said, like, Subway.
OK, let's see if Torvill and Dean is one of the most memorable sporting events. Come on. Yes, incredibly, Torvill and Dean is the nation's most memorable sporting event. It's surprising, but it was watched by 24 million people. I'm not knocking ice dancing. I just think if it's going to be Olympic sport, we should also include ballroom dancing, teabagging and bin finger. Fingers on buzzers, 2 more things to get. OK, Sean.
Is it where Colchester got that draw with
Liverpool,
in the Freight Rover Trophy in '83, and there was 60 minutes left on the clock, and they managed to pull one back, and that was fine. They managed to hold on right to the very end of the game. Is it when Mike Tyson he took a bite out of Evander Holyfield's ear? Yeah. I think that would be top actually, because that was the most shocking thing I've ever seen in.
I interviewed Evander Holyfield, and he said, and he said that he had no idea.
What?
He said,
What are you saying?
No, this one.
He said he had no idea that he'd bitten his ear off. Somebody had to tell him. Don't just go over and say he's bitten.
So he was hitting him. He was going, "Who? He's got an ear in his mouth. This bloke's a nutter."
Did you read that? Like, a bloke paid 30 grand for the ear, for the piece of ear, right?
Oh, no.
It's weird, that, isn't it? He paid 30 grand as, like, sporting memorabilia, and in his thing he said, well, it's only like people collect baseball cards. You're like, yeah, but because they're not human flesh.
And it's not as if you can swap it with someone, can you? Here, I'll swap you that for Gordon Banks' eye.
Do you think that's... John, do you think Paula Radcliffe's turd is in the same museum?
There's loads of stuff of Tyson on YouTube, if you have a little look. And his interviews, he says some proper mental things. Like, at one point, he said, I'm going to eat Lennox Lewis's kids. Yes. Right? What are you on about? And Lennox Lewis just went, no, I've got any kids.
Well, that's not what you say. You know, you're supposed to say stuff in the pre-match, a warm-up to a fight to get people excited, and Muhammad Ali was really good at it. You know, like, I'm going to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm going to eat your kids, is what you shout while you're being thrown out of a pub. Come on here, I'll eat your kids! Where's the station?
Let's have a look and see whether Tyson Holyfield is one of the most memorable sporting moments. Yes, in 1997, Mike Tyson was disqualified after biting Evander Holyfield's ear. That bite was probably foreplay. I'm confident if the bell hadn't rung, he'd have bummed him. OK, fingers on buzzers, 1 more thing to get. What's another memorable sporting moment?
Was it Thierry Henry? Thierry Henry handballed the ball to knock the Irish out. I mean, they'd not done enough anyway, to be fair. But he... No, it's that thing that everyone was, like, appalled by it, you know, and they're like, oh, he's cheated and they should replay it. You're like, well, hold on. We're going to start going back through matches that were supposed to replay because of cheating. There was a game in 1986, South Manchester District, OK, under-10s league, and we got knocked out because the referee was the striker's dad. All right, that's all I'm saying.
But at least he admitted it. I mean, what would you have done if he'd gone up to the...
Not admit it, I saw it!
The favourite post story was that there was Irish fans in Ireland, right, who were so angry that they vandalised Henry Hoovers.
Lenny Henry started getting hate mail, not because of his name is Henry, because he's married to Dawn French.
I can tell you it's not in our top 5, but last year there was uproar when France knocked Ireland out of the World Cup qualifiers thanks to a blatant handball by Thierry Henry. After Ireland were denied the chance to play in South Africa, questions were asked in the Irish Parliament, the best answer to which was the bottom bit of Africa. All joking apart, handball is actually quite a serious thing. I remember our games teacher was forced to leave the school. OK, 1 more thing to get. Fingers on buzzers.
It's got to be Johnny Wilkinson. Got to be winning the World Cup, the Rugby World Cup. In fact, see that? A ripple of applause for a game that most of us do not understand. It was brilliant. He kicked the ball over the bar. He became a sporting icon. I mean, I support Liverpool. We've got loads of people who can kick a ball over the bar. But that has got to be it.
Well, it was such a nail-biting moment, wasn't it?
Well, everyone says they remember where they were when we found out we won the World Cup, and I remember where I was. It was 2 weeks later in Tesco. I just told me.
on the pitch.
You were on the
Yeah,
pitch?
we had to do it.
Do you play for them?
Were you really on the pitch when that happened?
I was, you know the bit behind the post?
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there. And
That must have been brilliant. I mean, I don't understand the sport. I don't like rugby. We don't play a lot in Liverpool. But in Liverpool, if you want to have a fight, you just have a fight. We can't be arsed putting a kit on and chasing an egg. It seems like a lot of hassle.
I remember watching it. I was actually, because it was on early in the morning, I was in a hotel. I'd done a gig the night before in Shrewsbury, and I thought, I don't know what, I'll watch on the telly, have my breakfast in bed. And when we won, I went a bit crazy. I had another cup of tea and a second croissant. And I thought, good on you, boys. You've made my morning. And I took the flour out of the little vase.
Did you?
Woo!
Let's have a look and see whether it's up there. Yes, the third most memorable moment is Johnny Wilkinson scoring the winning points in the final moments of the 2003 Rugby World Cup. It's important to remember that rugby union isn't the same as rugby league, unless you're comparing how little of a shit I give about either, in which case they're identical. At the end of that round, Sean, Gabby and Johnny have 2 points. Jason, Denise and John have 3 points. Welcome back to the 8 out of 10 Cats Sports Special. Our next round is Pick of the Polls. Sean, Johnny and Gabby, your turn first. What do you like the look of?
Fans.
Fans, please.
The fans,
Fans,
OK?
please.
You've chosen the sports fans. Here's a clip to illustrate the question.
We are the Diamonds. We come from Glasgow. We're here to play football. Out of our way. With the Diamond side, we come from Glasgow town. And when we're hitting the field, we're never messing around. We're gonna move the ball, we're gonna pass and rush. And if you get in the way, you're gonna feel the crush. The truth can hurt, and the truth is me. We're the baddest team that's ever been seen. We can't be stopped when we start to play. Talk about the Diamonds, what do we say? The Diamonds.
That's the Glasgow Diamonds there. They're the top of the Clydesdale NFL and bottom of the Clydesdale NFL. OK, your related question is, 11% of sports fans would allow their sporting idol to sleep with their partner, true or false?
My sporting idol's a man. I don't want him to sleep with my husband.
Oh, come on, treat yourself. Who's your sporting idol?
You know, a lot of couples do this. You know, you have kind of fantasy shags where if you meet them, if you both
Ooh.
meet them, they're
Yeah,
like so
I get it.
far out there that you go, yeah, you're allowed to. So Kenny's was Cameron Diaz, and mine was this New Zealand rugby player. So anyway, I check into this hotel in Melbourne. In
You mean you went for one that's
2003.
actually feasible? I like it. There's a very much a possible shag.
And I got in there and I rang Kenny. I said, "You'll never guess who's in the lift with me. It's Dougie Howlett, the New Zealand rugby player." He put the phone down.
I've got an agreement with my girlfriend. If I ever get to sleep with Kylie Minogue, she can fuck off. 11% of sports fans would allow their sporting idol to sleep with their partner. Who's your sporting idol?
Bob Nudd. I'd let Bob Nudd. I'd let Bob Nudd, the angler.
You'd let your wife
I'd let him sleep with my wife. I don't think he'd bother her for long. I think he'd go in there, he'd start talking about different flies and casting angles, and she'd fall asleep. He'd probably have a fiddle and then go, actually, tide's in. I'll get some good, I'll get some roach on that estuary.
I love this mime. He'd have a fiddle. Denise, what do you think? Who's your sporting idol?
I do like Tiger Woods, or used to.
Tiger Woods probably would. He's not fussy. Tiger Woods, I believe, has a blanket policy. Every hole's a goal. He'd you out. 11% of sports fans would allow their sporting idol to sleep with their partner. You're going to go...
I think it's false because I think it's going to be higher.
I think it's a lie.
Yeah.
OK, what are you going to go for?
True, then.
You're going to go true?
Yeah, we'll go true.
OK. I can tell you it's true. 11% of sports fans would allow their sporting idol to sleep with their partner. I must say, if I had to pick a sporting idol, it would probably be Desert Orchid. My wife is in for a treat. Jason's team, you're to choose. What do you want to go for?
Well, we've got to.
We've got to. We'll go for the
Olympics.
Yes.
You're going Olympics. OK, you've gone for the Olympic rings. Here's your question. What did the nation prefer, the Olympics or the World Cup? It's a good question, isn't it?
The thing with the Olympics, like the World Cup, you go, well, I like football. I like football. And it's, you know, if you like football, then you like the whole of the World Cup, don't you? With the Olympics, you only like certain things. Like, there's some stuff in... I like that, you know, rhythmic gymnastics. No offence, Gabby, right? I know you did it for a little time, right? But that one, I'm telling you, that is just a bloke who's got a bit of toilet tissue stuck to his hand, that is.
The other thing that gets me about the Olympics is that they give away a bronze medal for third. Like, there's gold, yeah? Valuable.
Oh, yeah, gold, yeah,
gold,
lovely.
Valuable. Silver, valuable. Bronze, if you had some lying around the house, a thief wouldn't even bother nicking it.
Have you got any bronze?
I have.
No. Someone comes just going to go,
I love
we got
my
a bronze
Olympic bronze
medalist
medal.
coming in today. No one cares. You may as well, if you're going to give him a bronze medal, you may as well let him hold a toaster. When they have the Olympics over in the East End, yeah? When they have the van load of medals being shipped over, believe me, they're not going to have to protect the bronze medals from the local hoodies. Worthless. Worthless.
You've obviously not seen any of those cash for bronze adverts on the telly.
OK, what are you going to go for? What do the nation prefer, the Olympics or the World Cup? Sean?
World Cup.
World Cup.
OK, you're going World Cup. What are you going to go for?
No, I think we've got to go for Olympics. Let's just go for it. Because even if it's wrong, it's right. Yeah. But it will be wrong.
I can tell you that 57% of the nation prefer the Olympics to the World Cup. Hey. A lot of planning is going into the 2012 Olympics. Sadly, most of it by Al-Qaeda. So at the end of that round, it's 2 points for Sean's team and 5 points to Jason's team. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your first one. What is the poshest sport?
Quidditch. Because it's not only posh, like, played by posh people, it's expensive as well. Those, like, flying sweeping brushes and that, they're like 45 quid second-hand, you know what I mean? And who wants a second-hand one? You know someone's died on it, so...
Poshest sport.
Gotta be the equine sports, dressage.
Oh.
Dressage. Who did dressage at school? Who did it? I mean, we keep on saying we've got... Exactly. Who went to school and the teacher turned around and said, listen, kids, got PE on Wednesday. Don't forget your pony. Dressage. If you don't bring your pony, you got to do it in your vest and knickers. Like that.
Yeah, what happened? Is that the one where they just walk around showing off that they've got an horse?
They got a horse that can dance.
They've got a horse that can dance. It's like sort of quite... It's like,
Do you know,
it's like that, but with a horse.
It's called...
That has got to be
Actually.
the Wiz.
Is it powerboat polo? You've got one of those big power boats and a stick. And a little ball, obviously one that floats.
That's what we want to go with, Jim.
You're sort of half right, Sean.
I think the polo part was the right...
Is it polo, Jim?
Polo's the
I know,
poshest game.
no,
Come
there's
on.
another
What's a
half.
polo?
I can tell you the answer. The poshest sport, according to the survey, is polo. Jim, you got it right. So polo is the poshest sport. Bottom of the list is playing slapsies with Kerry Katona. OK, top thing that would improve football.
G-strings.
G-strings?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd love to see those guys running around in their little G-strings. That'd be quite entertaining.
Come to my dressing room afterwards. You're feeling frisky and you want to see some mantees.
I think they should get rid of red and yellow cards, definitely, and replace them with purple and green ones. I just prefer those colours. Most of the managers are Scottish, and when Scottish people say purple, it's quite funny, isn't it? They go, purple. Alex Fergus, I'm furious about that purple.
What about if the ball had a sensor in it and a little speaker that every time it got kicked, it let out like a painful scream?
That's insane.
Video technology
is exactly the right answer.
Sorry, I just want to get some points.
Yes, the top thing that would improve football is video referees. If they're going to improve football, I think they should make radical changes. They should have less players, and instead of having the nets at either end of the pitch, they should have them in the middle. And instead of kicking it, you should be allowed to handball it, but only with a racket. I suppose what I'm saying is, I like tennis. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means that the final scores are Sean, Gabby and Johnny have 4 points, but our winners are Jason, Denise and John with 5. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you watching at home. That's it from us. Good night.